So this is day 14, and I will be doing. Yesterday I could not do much work on day 13, so today is day 14 and we will start off with our regular flow. So as you can see, yesterday I could not do much work, so today let's restart today with our standard format, which is the puzzle streak. We are at puzzle streak number 0. This is the first one. First one's generally easy. Adds a mate into rook check, queen captures, queen captures. This is a simple fork puzzle. Knight fork, win the rook. This one is a simple mate in one. This one is, it seems a little more trickier, this one. Okay. This is actually a pinned piece, this pawn, so it cannot protect, only the knight is protecting. I have two attackers, the two rooks, and I can mate into. Here we have a fork and win the knight, win the bishop. Is that the case? Is there anything else? Is there a mate? I don't see a mate. He has sufficient escape squares, so I think I'll just pick up the bishop. He's just forked my pieces, but the king is in a bit of trouble. I don't see an easy way to defend a check like this. Knight cannot. Okay, this knight can come in, but it can be simply captured. Then there is no defense. So it's a simple mate in 2. Here we see that they are a piece up situation. But yes, this is a mate because the pawn is protecting the escape squares. His own pawns are protecting the escape squares, so it's a mate in 2. Again, as we know, the first few puzzles are fairly easy. It's what we use for warm-up. Here we can see that the king actually does not have escape squares. So we have this check. The king has to go here. Knight check again, and I win this rook. Is there something else? Is there a mate? That's what I'm always concerned about. I don't see an easy mate, so let's try this. Fork, and you win the rook. Here we see that this pawn's protecting this knight, but I can see that I don't seem to I have this check here. I win this knight. Is there more to this? Is there a mate? I don't see a mate, so I'm going to go ahead and take the fork. Alright folks, now we can clearly see we are a material down. We can just 2 pawns and a rook against 3 pawns, rook and a knight, so it's a completely material down position. But we have an option to queen here. So if I just block this, and then I can simply queen, so we will be up material. So let's try that. So I can basically, the knight can't protect this, stop this pawn from queening. Now let's see what's happening here. Here we can see that we have this option, but I don't see it leading to anything. I have this check, bishop takes, queen mate. Okay, so queen can mate here folks, right here. So that's a nice little sacrifice and a mate. Okay, so here as you can see, if I do this check, I give this check, queen into d4. The problem is this bishop is protecting the rook, else we would have had a mate. Let's say if this bishop was not there, we have a mate here. We don't really have a mate because king does have an escape square, so it's not working. What if I reverse the role, right? I get this bishop. So we just change the move order and we win the bishop, and it's completely winning for us. Material up. Here we can see that the king does not have escape squares. He cannot go here. He is forced to capture this or come here. Either which way this rook delivers the ladder mate. So the 2 rooks delivering ladder mate, straightforward puzzle. Let's do for 5 more minutes the warm-ups. A discovered check. The king goes here. Check. King eats the bishop. And rook takes rook. It's a possible idea. there something more to this, folks? Bishop here, check. Queen has to come back here. Rook check. I think the way, yeah, rook check. Which rook check? So the thing is, if I look at the entire solution to this, looks like I first give him a check. The king goes there. This rook delivers a check. Rook into b3 check. Rook queen has to capture. Queen king has to capture on c1. Rook check, king goes to c2. So if you look at it, I am giving up a bishop for a rook and a pawn, which is materially beneficial for me. And we are of course threatening ladder mate at some point of time, so there is no easy escape for him. No, sorry. Rook into b3, rook into a1. Alright folks, so we are looking at the queen check. The rook can simply come back to defend this. But then queen takes rook, bishop takes, and then I have a discovered check. The queen can come in here. So the discovered check should be here. So that when the queen comes in, I do get back. No, that doesn't work. Alright folks, let's try and recalculate this. I have this check, rook comes back, queen check, bishop takes. And then I have this check. I'm not sure if, yeah, I think we are materially up in terms of some pawns, but I'm not clear. I think we should have a better approach to this. He's threatening mate in 1. So there is no choice but to start off with a check. So let's do that. Now let's calculate how it would work. I think now still the person has a mate in 1, so I'll need to give him a check. Now I have to give him this discover check to grab the queen. The queen has to go back, bishop takes, pawn takes. Alright folks, last 2 minutes of the puzzle streak. We have this check, and then I think it's a mate because this bishop is controlling the square. Rook comes back, rook takes or queen takes, it doesn't matter, we still win. So check. Sorry, since the knight has come back, I have to take with the queen, and then the rook delivers the mate. Here we can pin the knight to the king. But does it really help? I think it does, because once this is taken, I have the opposition, and this pawn is dropping, and we can queen this pawn. Right? So let's pin it to then get the opposition. And here I have this check, but that's not helping much. Oh, I'm winning this knight in the process. Okay, great. So we've reached 19. So can we make it 20 by the time we finish? We have this opposition, but then the pawn comes in. What if I come here, threatening to take the pawn? He will do whatever. I take the pawn and then come and defend this pawn. And then I have sufficient options here to cover this up. So I'm going to go here, take it, and come back and defend the pawn. So there's no alternative. He has to go somewhere, and then I do. Why not this? Oh yeah, actually it's better. This is equally good. I'm not sure what's happening to the engine. The engine still suggests this, but yeah, better move is go front, not go back. Alright folks, let's see what's happening here. Last puzzle for the day. We are at 20. I wanted to finish at least till 20 today. Let's see what's happening. Here I can not deliver a check in a safe manner. Both the checks are well protected. Queen currently does not have great escape squares, and the way to trap the queen is this. So the rook comes here, trapping the queen. Alright folks, we completed the puzzle streak. Let's go to puzzle themes, and the puzzle in which I was struggling was Intermezzo in my previous tournament. So I'm going to do 4-5 puzzles of this, and then we're going to start off our matches. So let's see, Intermezzo here, I cannot take this because of the pin. Not a pin, why can't I simply take this? I think then queen takes, rook takes, rook check, rook takes, and I'm losing. But then I have this intermezzo check here. No, I don't have an intermezzo check. Don't have anything. See, let's understand the problem. Pawn takes knight, queen takes, rook takes, queen takes, rook takes. Alright folks, the intermezzo is the queen takes rook in the intermediate move. So I'll have an additional knight at the end of the whole line. So now I cannot take it directly because of the problem that we identified. There's a back rank risk that I have. So first remove the back rank risk, minimize the thing, and then we win the piece. So we have one set of points up on the intermezzo. Now here we can see that what is the problem? Why can't I simply exchange this? Let's look at this. If he takes it, he is losing the knight. Right? So why can't I simply take it? There is this problem, otherwise they would okay, they have a mate in 1. So let's say, what is the problem? There's something problem at the end of the line, and the intermezzo I think so is this check. Because I know it's the intermezzo theme, I'm thinking what could be the intermezzo. So if I take queen takes, he simply loses the knight. What does he have that I don't understand? Rook takes, queen takes, and I win the knight. Isn't it that simple? But then he has this check and he wins the bishop. So the problem is this bishop is hanging. So first remove the bishop from the sequence and then take it. I do win the knight. So folks, the theory was correct. I mean, because it's intermezzo, I guess I realized that there was this problem, but otherwise I think we are fine. Here, what is the problem? Again, the idea is I can threaten him this and then take this. Does he have a check? I don't see. Oh, okay. His problem, the problem is that once I do this, so once I do this, he has queen takes queen, but I don't see a good way to stop this. So rook here, queen takes queen, intermezzo, I have to take, and then this goes away somewhere. So that's the advantage that he has in this position, and I don't see a good intermezzo. Why can't I just simply take queen takes queen, pawn takes queen, and then bishop takes? It seems easier and more logical. What is the problem with this? Bishop takes knight, queen takes, oh yeah, sorry, queen takes queen. No, I think it's easy one. Queen takes queen, and then I take this knight, which is unprotected. What is the problem with the sequence? Does he have a mate? Does he have a check? I don't see it. Now let's see. Now I think so the intermezzo theme is coming in. If I take this, he has this queen takes, rook takes, and then king has to come here. Okay, I'm not sure how this was an intermezzo theme, but okay, it did not feel like an intermezzo theme. Alright folks, 3 puzzles in. Now here this is pinned. I have this here. I think I simply take this. He takes, bishop takes. Isn't that what it is? Why don't I take this directly? Bishop takes bishop. Queen takes bishop. I have a check, and then I can simply win. It's an overworked piece rule. The problem is that bishop takes bishop. Intermezzo. So if I'm going to take this, he's not going to take the bishop. He's going to take this bishop. Then he can just simply go ahead and grab this at a later point in time. But if I do this check, queen takes, bishop takes, king comes back, and then I think it's this check. Oh, sorry, this no. Queen takes. Queen takes first the intermezzo, and then you win this. Okay, folks, I think we got one puzzle wrong. But yes, it's been a fairly trickier kind of puzzles that were happening. Now let's look at what's happening here. Rook takes, king takes, right? It's a simple one, but then he does have an intermediate check here or here, or a pin before he wins that. So I give this check and then grab the same thing, covering these two squares. I think that is what it is. I can simply block, and then we are good. Alright folks, we've done a good amount of intermezzo puzzles. Let's create our lobby game. So we're going to do a 10 plus 5 today, and probably one more 10 plus 5 time permits, and we will then see how it goes. As we know that last time I had a lot of loss of points in the rapid section because of late night gameplay. I'm at 1885, the opposition at 1784, and decently powered opposition. He is from Denmark opposition. Let's see. The king's Indian defense, so he's going to play g6, for which I'm going to play knight c3. Pretty standard opening. Okay, this is no more our standard opening. So my guess is he's going to sacrifice a couple of pawns here. That's one of the possible themes here. So he plays this, I take, he plays this, I take, and then he takes this, and I'll try and then defend this pawn and then try and open up. So yeah, there are some traps in this opening if that's what he goes for. I forgot the name of this opening, but yeah, it's basically a couple of sacks to open up the queen side. Okay, great, that's not what is being played. This seems to be a little more passive-ish position with this coming in. He's going for the king's Indian defense kind of a structure. So bishop comes, okay, knight is coming here. Again, not clear what's happening. Not a standard opening that I'm used to. The bishop comes there. Now this bishop comes here. If this knight comes and attacks this pawn, I can simply castle. The bishop is protecting it. It can't come here, it can't come here. I don't see the future for this knight being here. So yeah, let me simply castle, and I think let's continue. I'm not still understanding the knight coming here. The structure, knight can come here, I can kick him. Move this. Actually, why don't I play h3 as a prophylactic move, stopping, controlling this bishop. It's diagonal completely when or if this fellow opens up. So also I have a problem with bishop e3. The knight can come to g4. So what I can do is control it. Right, so I think h3 is a possible next move for us. I think we've got a decent structure here. He's got a decent structure here. Look at pawns. I think we are fine. There's not a single pawn, not a single piece exchanged. Now the only problem I see is this diagonal and this bishop being super strong. So stopping my knight move. Let me stop his knight move. He can come front. Oh, king goes there. Very, very interesting. Now if I play this, yeah, there's nothing wrong with playing this and then trying to play this. Okay, so this bishop doesn't have too many diagonals. Let's see how we can take this forward. We have this queen angling this diagonal here. We can put it here, but not sure is the right way to go. We have this hole here which currently controlled by this knight e5, knight into e5, pawn into e5. So the pawn structure gets a little spoiled if the pawns come to these three squares. So let's see, folks, how this is happening. Okay, the f4 break. It's a pretty standard break in this position, with the idea of launching a massive queenside attack. So let's calculate f4, f5, e into f5, rook into f5, and then I have this move here. So let me prepare for a kind of battery along this diagonal. So if he plays f4, queen takes, rook takes, and then I put this bishop targeting this pawn here. Right? It's a possible way to approach this. Then I can try to put more pressure, etc. Trying to undermine this f5 move. It's a standard break that we see in the King's Indian setups. We have the f5 break, then the knight comes back, this knight sits here, and every one of the black pieces is attacking the queen side. So I need to work against the f5 idea. Now if he plays f5, pawn takes, rook takes, and then the bishop sits along this diagonal, troubling it. Rook has to come back here to h6, knight to h4, and then it's a bit of excessive pressure along this pawn. Queen has to come back here. So it becomes a slightly more defensive setup rather than an attacking setup. In fact, I can get this bishop here as well because it's a pinned pawn. So yes, folks, so it doesn't seem that straightforward, the f5 break, but if he does it, I'm going to take it. So alright, so as I knew that they have this option here, I think so. Is preparing this f5 break. Let me remove this fellow from here. Pawn takes, I loses the pawn. Bishop takes, I have this tempo. Myself playing the f4, and the bishop goes back. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a move. Let's think about it, folks. The f5 break now also runs into not that much of a problem, to be frank, because the rook can simply go back and defend. But then I can then push. No, the push is not working because of the bishop, right? So if I push, pawn takes, pawn. No, why can't I push, pawn takes? Push, pawn takes, and then I have this threat. Okay, that's a possible issue. Am I overextending? It's okay. Worst case, I'll exchange this pawn somewhere and this row opens up, getting my rook into the game. So I think this is fine for me. At least that's what I think. He cannot really take it according to me because it creates that open file. This diagonal suddenly opens up, the queen becomes active. I don't think it's a great idea for them to exchange it off. But what about me? Can I exchange it off? Does it make sense? Rook takes, pawn takes, rook takes, rook, bishop takes, and this rook joins the party. I think overall we are fine. My own f5 break seems okay. So I think he will, should he take, should he not take? I'm very confused. Okay, I think what can happen is he takes, and then he pushes this pawn, but then this bishop is damned to eternity, and I'm going to just cement it. I'm just going to cement it off and then say, okay, let's play on. have I overextended, folks? I have no idea. Because this is not a typical structure that I play with. It looks like a stone wall structure, but stone wall structure is, I think this is the stone wall structure, so it's all moved up. The stone wall kind of a structure with one moving up, right? The typical stone wall structure comes like this, if I'm not wrong. We have the same thing, a row above. So moved up stone wall. I'm not sure what you call it. Not sure if there are any games along this, right? So now he's trying to target the base of the pawn. Alright, folks, let's think about this. Seems like a good idea. I can defend. Pawn takes, bishop can't take. What if I start a check? He takes it a pawn. So I don't really have a great situation. Why don't I just open everything up? Why don't I just play g4 and cemento this whole structure? I think that's overextending. I think I'm just opening too much. What if I play bishop here defending this pawn? This pawn's already defended. There's no need to further do things. Does that idea work? Pawn takes, pawn takes. What if I try to exchange some of these off? I'm really confused, folks, how to progress now. This pawn takes works because this is opening this up, and then I put my bishop here. Should be okay for me. Let's calculate. Pawn takes, pawn takes. This rook is opened up. Then I close this row to open it up whenever I want. Then let me put the queen here. The knight has to sit here. Okay, folks, let's first open this up. Right, my idea was to simply open this up to start off with, and then put the bishop here, double up the rooks, and then put the knight. Oh yeah, once the bishop moves, I have a way to knight to enter. So let's close this. So this whole structure is fine. He can push, but I don't see. I move the queen here. No, I think the pawn push is a bad idea because he can't push the pawn. Okay, good. This pawn is stuck as long as the king is there. Okay, folks. So the king is here. So the pawn's stuck because I have this move. So I need to move my knight. I'm going to get my knight here, threatening the pawn. If pawn push, then I have this bishop takes, pawn takes, and then I'm threatening this pawn push. Seems okay, folks. Seems okay. Seems okay as an idea initially, as you can see. In terms of time, let's look at it. I have taken 4 minutes of my time. 3 minutes of my time has been taken to reach move 16. So one of the issues I had in few of the earlier tournaments, rapid tournaments specifically, was time pressure. So I was just thinking, is there something I can do here? Alright. Let's look carefully. Is there any tricks that we can do? So if you look at development, let's look at evaluate the position. If I look at an engine evaluation at move number 16, according to me would be he's 1 tempi behind. I have a slight space advantage. I have some diagonal. He has a good knight. Not a great, as a good knight. This bishop is along a wonderful diagonal. This rook is opened up. He does what he should have done, which is opening up the bishop. Bishop cannot come anywhere. But yes, that's a not, even though it's a good bishop technically, I'm going to try to target this pawn weakness. I'm going to try and target this pawn weakness, folks. Let's see. Pawn push, then I allow this exchange, threatening this. Okay. Alright, so he's trying to do bishop comes here. I'll push the pawn, no big deal. Pawn push. Knight here, knight sits here, knight sits there. I'm not clear, folks, where this knight's supposed to sit. Let me sit here for a minute, and then we'll see how it goes. Bishop cannot come. bishop cannot come here. So I have a simple pawn push. He has this discovered attack. Then I can simply take it. 2 pieces for a... Seems equal, but I don't think so it's equal. Okay folks, I think I missed this. I underestimated this discovery. But this is anyways a great bishop. Its objective is to somehow get some activity here. Pawn push, knight takes, bishop takes, and bishop takes. The bishop goes back. So I'm going to get these 2 pieces, this bishop on... Okay, no, that was not their idea. Okay. Alright folks, so what can we do, or what should we do here in this position? First, I'm worried about this discovery. So where should this rook go? I'm going to put here and try to open up the queen side. Typically the king's Indian defense, black attacks the king side and queen and white attacks the king side. I haven't done any king side activity. I'm going to first remove this and try to open up this row here. So yeah, it's a good situation. Pawn push, I just go back. No, sorry, go back here. Actually I can, no, I have to go back here because I'm threatening this and then this. So yeah, okay, good. So we are clear that he cannot do the pawn push till he moves the king. He plays this directly, closing this diagonal. Bishop pawn takes, bishop pawn, knight takes, queen takes. Is good for him. No, I'm getting this pawn at the end of the line. This pawn's hanging. No. What did I calculate? Zero calculation, folks. Zero. Let's remove everything along this diagonal. Okay, folks, I think I messed it up. I've given suddenly black too much to play with. And yeah, I think I messed up the advantage. I think now we are back to 0 or negative situation. Alright, the idea of me not playing this was because of the fact that the knight was sitting there. So let me play it here. Attacking this is protected by this. So I think we are okay. Rook takes. Okay, no. Alright folks, the knight wants to jump in here. I have the double bishop advantage. I'll just put the bishop back, okay. Let me take the exchange the rooks off. And yeah, I don't know, double bishop advantage, not sure if it is sufficient. Not sufficient, I have no idea. Okay. I don't know what to do. Just playing by the ear at this point in time. Queen takes, queen, and now what? Now where can this fellow? It is just taking this now. I don't want to do that. I want to sit here maybe. But we're trying to attack this base pawns. So let me just stop this knight activity for a bit. Alright folks, I think I'm sticking it to the end game with something called as a double bishop advantage. But I'm not sure if it is sufficient. Right? Knight cannot come there. Knight can come here though. See, the main thing I want to do is avoid this knight from coming too many places. I don't know, knight comes here, knight goes there, pawn goes there, and then I think I'm fine. So I need to activate my king. How do I activate my king? I'm always not good with the knight jumps. Knight can come here, I'm going to exchange it off. Opposite color bishop is a drawn endgame. So I'll just play it here. Okay. Alright. So let's move this here. Knight comes here, bishop here, and then I will try to move my king in to the center of the board. Yeah, I think he's already doing what I told I should be doing. Moving to the center of the board, and yeah, the king comes in here and then here. Okay, I want to come here and try to get this activity in. Let's see. Bishop here, knight here, and the bishop sits here. No, okay. Alright, he's trying for this fork. Alright folks, I'm a bit troubled. How do we continue? Would I want same colored or opposite colored? I need an opposite colored, same colored endgame. These pawns are not in great squares. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Trying to control here. Okay, it was a blunder. He has a fork. Okay, folks, I think I've done a mistake already. How do I get out of this mistake? Okay, I cannot play here. Okay, so let's do something that's not very efficient. Stop this in a not so efficient manner. Okay folks, I think we have done some mistakes. This bishop is controlling this, so we are fine. Okay, I'm not very clear how to progress here folks, and of course this bishop. Let me try to open up this side. He takes, I take. No. I'm adding more weaknesses to my position. Of course, not the right approach. Alright folks, I think I've screwed up this endgame pretty badly, and we are going to struggle for eternity. He has pretty decently structured. Only problem for him is this bishop is the same color as these pawns. And I have the double bishop. I think I'll just try to get in. Is there a way I can simply try to get in? I'm trying to get in from this route here. Trying to get a king entry, and bishop's trying to control this knight in some way. Okay, let's see. The king is trying to enter this way. Comes here, I'm going to just take it off. No issues. Opposite color bishop endgame. Not good. I'm going to try to cut in here. Now that I've provoked this, can I get... Okay, let me move back. Knight comes here, I'm going to defend. I'm getting into defensive mode a little bit, which I think is fine. This pawn's lost, or is it? Oh, let's defend this pawn. Let's see. Knight comes here. I'm going to go back here. Stopping entry. Now I can enter. What's stopping me? I'm going to try and enter. I'm going to go back, defend. I'm going to try to enter. Let's see, folks. What's happening? We can come here. Okay, come there. I'm going to attack this. Attack this. The bishop will trap if you go and defend it, so okay, let me attack this. I have this check. Okay, let me just play a waiting move. What does he have? Goes here, I go here. Goes here, I go here. He won't do that. Is he running out of moves? No. But then clueless, folks, what to do. I am trying to, not sure what I'm trying to do. Okay, so now I'm going to target this guy this way. Let's see. Now this pawn is lost, or is it? I think that pawn's lost. What is the first crack? He's gone away from the center. King still trying to fight. I get this pawn. Does he have a fork? I don't see the fork. I have this now. I don't see the fork, folks. The problem, of course, is this knight which can fork me anytime. But I just don't see it. This pawn is not under threat, but I have this passer, and now the bishop enters. Okay. Alright, folks, let's see what's going to happen. Knight comes in. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. King here, and I think we are good to go. Alright, folks, I think the whole long drawn pawn battle was won. We have multiple defenses possible and he does not have it. Let me go back and analyze. I think I messed this up so badly multiple times. As of course I'm winning, I simply take this pawn. He has this, you go here, he take this pawn. I take this pawn and I think we are winning. Alright, folks, I think not a great game, I would say. I struggled. I was winning at one point of time, but then I struggled a lot in this game. I'm going to do a direct computer analysis because I've spent a lot of time on this game already. I think I'm going to call it quits after this match. We've spent around 45 minutes to 50 minutes in this. And I would want to analyze what's happening. I knew that I have done a blunder somewhere. So here, this I don't know what to do. Yes, there was a mistake, but I think I wasn't winning. I was better off at move 16. I had much better advantage, which I messed up here. Okay, folks, let's learn from our mistakes. I have done 2 blunders and 1 big mistake. The first mistake is this bishop should not be coming here. think I saw that this was the move, but I'm not sure why. D into, and I get this pawn. No, that was not the one. It was bishop here, targeting this, queen comes back, and then I take the pawn. So then this is a complete pawn structure ruining movement for black. Here also I was doing well, and I played this move. Should I have played this again? No, e5 is a mistake. What should I have done? One thing I was thinking of was this move, and this move. None of them are working. None of these were working. And I'm not sure, folks, what was the good move here. Of course, I'm at a 1900 leeches, 1400 FIDE, so let me just look at the solution. The bishop comes back, trying to reroute and trying to go along this diagonal. Okay, so bishop g4, bishop f2 and g2. And why should I bother when I say this? I lose a queen if I do all of this. Alright folks, this is where I did a mistake. I should not have gone there, and I know the problem was this. No, it's not that. What I should have done. I played it here. I had something way too powerful which I'm missing. That block, no. No, big mistake. What was this move? Bishop here. Attacking this, bishop defense. Get an entry, and then you close this. Just remove moves for the opposition. It's a prophylactic endgame, which of course I struggled in. Alright folks, so these were the mistakes that I have done. But overall, a tricky game. Took it to an endgame, which was fairly tricky. Did a few mistakes in the endgame, but then somehow with an active king, etc., I was able to convert. Yes, I did play bishop d2, but a move late. So bishop d2 was found finally, but it was a move late with the idea of entry. I found the idea, but a little late. I wasn't accurate on the timings. Alright folks, good. Thanks a lot. I think I played the game today. Yesterday I could not play these games, and I'm going to play a game tomorrow as well. Thank you for listening.